The link I make between nutrition and trick shot is pleasure. As I've just told you, nutrition for me is a happy medium between indulging oneself and being careful. So trick shot is pleasure in badminton. That's why we love badminton too. The trick shots, the feints, the shots we can do. That's why we play too. If we had to do nothing but robots, as we've just been doing at the net all day, badminton wouldn't be nearly as much fun. So that's what trick shots are for, to have fun. And after all, we're here to have fun in badminton. If you're not having fun, frankly, you're not performing well. So what are trick shots? It's about pretending to hit something and then doing something else. And when you make a trick shot, basically, we're going to talk a lot about theory because there are so many trick shots out there. We can work on one or two if you like. I can show you one or two of my favorite trick shots and you can work on it. But there are so many trick shots. You can do so many body tricks, eye tricks, racket tricks that we won't be able to see them all. But we can talk about the theory. The trick shot is really, you have to think before you make a trick shot. What do I want to do with this shot? What do I want the opponent to think? Do I want to put the shuttlecock to the back? On the forehand side, for example, make him think it's going to be there, and where can I play fast? With a fast shot, by making him think that. That's what you have to ask yourself every time you make a trick shot. Because often you see players making tricks, but I don't think they actually know why they're making the trick shots, in which direction they wanted to put the opponent, and then they play in the opposite direction. Sometimes you wonder. So really, ask yourself, where do I want the opponent to think I'm going to put the shuttlecock? And then, where am I going to put the shuttlecock? That's the theoretical part of the trick shot. The practical part, do you want a trick shot or not? Or do you just want, we can take 10 minutes to show you the trick shots you like to do, and I'll tell you if it suits me, or I'll show you a trick shot and we'll work on mine. Which one? My favorite, I'd say, is this one on the forehand. And I've already given a little lesson on Instagram on this one. But basically, I'm going to make it look like a slow shot at the net here, and I'm going to play really fast down the other side. That's the one I did last night in men's doubles. That's exactly the one. In other words, I come in fast, I stop, so I don't do a foot strike. So the players, I move them forward, I draw them towards the net, and at that point, I come back and do a release. I'll try to break down my movement, but basically, I do a release, I lower my elbow, I lower my racket, and I come to hit very hard with forearm, a little wrist and tight. Okay, so fingers, let's say it's slow speed. Can you send me a few shuttlecocks, please? At slow speed, it's going to be almost impossible because I have to send speed on the trick shot, but basically it goes like this and this. When it works really well, it comes from the cross line or it comes from straight line at about half court, and you can't do it when you're too close to the net. From a long distance, it's very complicated because there's more time, so your opponent has more time to reach for it. So, really, the ideal is over here. Over here, you need good shuttlecock speed. If the shuttlecock's too slow, it's going to be very complicated because I've got to put a lot of speed into it. So good speed means good timing. Go for it. I'm here. And I'll quickly put the power back in. There. There, I attract and then I hit. I attract and then I hit. So I'm open-armed and I launch. There, I come back and send hard. There. And here. In fact, it's more of a tight release than a wrist release. This is it. That's it. I release and tighten. I release and tighten. I release and tighten. But my wrist is still a little broken. Try doing it without being on the court at the moment, just with your racket. You release and tighten. You've got to be high. You've got to attract, and then you've got to take it lower. In fact, when you draw like that, your opponent comes forward, and that's when you hit. Because when he's moving forward, he's there and the shuttlecock goes. So he's kind of getting up and moving forward. He's got his upper body going forward, and it's going very fast. By the time he regains his footwork and starts moving again, it's a beautiful trick shot. The longer you wait until the shuttlecock is close to your racket, the better the trick shot. Because the more you attract your opponent in, the closer you are to the moment it hits. So he's thinking it's all right. I'll be playing, the shuttlecock's almost gone. But if you trick when you're there, your opponent won't have moved because he's normally waiting for the shuttlecock to go. So that's why the best trick shots are really when you almost feel that the other player has touched, almost made a double touch. In fact, no, he didn't touch the shuttle, but he waited until the last moment.